Boom. Yeah, that's me right there. See that? Yeah, that's me. Token vaping, guys. So today's juice review is the final flavor in a rotation of a company that I had the honor and pleasure of getting to do. As you know, I am trying to condense the amount of time each of my videos are to make them a little bit easier to watch. However, it does tend to take me a little bit longer to get through, you know, various companies and rotation of different flavors. So it's a give or take, but it's my way of trying to devote a little bit more attention and time per flavor to give you a little bit better of a feeling and explanation of specific flavors. So, like I said, this is the final flavor from a line called Cloudfire, and it is by a company called Hjelm Vapor. That's Hjelm Vapor. They do have a website in the process of being made. You can check them out. Their main site is Facebook and Instagram, and you can direct message them actually either way, so they do get back to you pretty quickly. But it is a Canadian-based company, and this is their bottles. They are unique looking. One, for the label, which is it has a very graphic novel comic book style, which I'm a big fan of. Two, because of the shape of it. I mean, it's not your typical round little glass bottle type thing. It is plastic, but it is a rectangular, and it does have a safety ringed cap on this. This is a first vape, first review, and this is a pretty durable safety ring, so you definitely know if this has been messed with at all. It doesn't mess open easily, but we will get to that. As I said, it is a Canadian-based company. They do use an ISO lab, and because of that, it's actually really cool. All the ingredients and the contents and the warning and everything on the bottle is done in English and in French, since they do speak both there. It also has a made on date, which is basically the same as a born on date. They have an expiration date and a batch ID. So, I mean, they get pretty detailed right in there as far as to the exact time and batch that specific flavors were made, so that, you know, God forbid if there is a problem with any of them, instead of trying to figure out like the whole process, they can actually narrow it down per batch, per, you know, it was on this date, so basically take a look at that specific day instead of everything. So it does make it nicer, but it does show a little bit more attention to detail on quality control as well. These are 70-30 mix ratio, and this is a 3 nicotine level, and it is a 30 ml bottle. This flavor is Flapstacks. And basically what it is supposed to basically be a, sorry, I'm just trying to condense the explanation of it without reading the whole thing. This is their flavor menu. It is a 4-flavor line, but basically it just says sweet syrup paradise. Basically they're pancakes, buttered and then finished with Canadian maple and whipped cream. So basically it's supposed to be a homemade buttermilk stack of pancakes with syrup and whipped cream, so we'll definitely go into that here. And as I said, it is a first vape, first review, and it is on a fresh wick, which, as always, I am using my Texas Tough Cotton. Just works really well for me. You know, it's just easy to work with and really durable. So it doesn't hold cotton flavor very long, which is why I like it. So basically, like for now on a first vape, it's basically going to be mainly flavor right off the bat. So that's the selling point for me. You know, everybody has a preference in their cotton, but on Instagram it is Texas Tough Cotton. I will put the direct link to the shop in the comment box below as well. So we are going to go ahead and pop this open, and if you listen, you should hear the safety ring pop. Right? Oh, maybe not, but it did separate. I think I may have talked over it. And they do offer this nozzle tip, which I think is really cool that it's on all their bottles. It just makes it a lot easier to, as you can see right here, it makes it a lot easier to put onto your cotton, you know, and soak it into your cotton without making a big old splotchy mess. It doesn't get all over the place. If you're using a tank, you know, most tanks filling ports will actually accommodate a nozzle like this a lot easier than a dropper bottle, things like that. So they try to make it as convenient as possible and as easy as possible without, you know, sacrificing anything or making problems for themselves. So that is one step that definitely is nice that they took, you know, and it doesn't really, it's not something that really causes a huge problem on their end, I don't believe, as far as making the bottle in this style. So just another thing there that they're just saying, hey, you know, by the way, we take into account your vaping, so this is what we're doing to help. So I'm just going to do a quick little pre-burn here, get the juice flowing through the cotton. Now, if you check them out on Facebook, it does, on their description, it does call this a high quality max VG. And as I stated, it is a 70/30. Now, max VG just basically means that the amount of VG that is in that particular flavor is the maximum amount that works best for that flavor. It does not mean 100%. That isn't the same. It just means that through their testing and quality control and, you know, different mix ratios and formulas that they've tried to get the best out of that particular flavor, that level of VG is what works the best for it. So that's the maximum amount that will work for that flavor. So I am at, as always, 75 watts, and this is Flap Stacks from the Cloudfire line from Hjelm Vapor. Okay, so I got that good. Mostly all flavor, but you know, just want to do a couple more drops here just to make sure that I'm getting, you know, all flavor. And we will go ahead and get into a description explanation here. As you can see, the clouds are really solid. That's always a good plus. Okay, solid clouds, and number one, I will say, absolutely no throat hit. I mean, that is some of the smoothest 70/30 mix that I have vaped in a while. I mean, it is just all flavor, nothing on the throat. So that's a definite nod towards Hjelm Vapor. Now, as far as flavor, you definitely taste the syrup. Maple syrup is a hard flavor to not get out of a vape. However, some flavors and some forms of it, it has had a really overpowering, strong flavor so that it overtakes everything. They've actually mixed the maple syrup and the whipped cream nicely together so that you get the maple syrup taste, but it blends into the whipped cream, so there is a smoothness and a more creamier take on it as far as for an undertone with the flavors. So it basically, if you ever have had pancakes with both on them, you will know the type of flavor that they were going for, which it does work well for, because that's basically what you taste. It's basically a creamy syrup flavor without being overly sweet or overly rich, so that it doesn't make you feel that you're going to vape out on it really quick and not be able to vape it, you know, all day, multiple days, things like that. The pancake aspect of it, because they were going for the light, fluffy, thinner style pancakes, I believe, it's going to be a hit or miss for some people. I will be straight up on it. There is, I would say it's more on the end of the vape, more of an aftertaste, a slight undertone. There is that flaky pastry taste. But as far as saying that for sure it's like as strong as the actual doughy pancake when you eat it, for me, I don't get it as much. There might be other people who are a bit more sensitive to it that'll pick it up more. But overall, as far as for if you're looking for kind of a sweeter vape that isn't super heavy or super dense, this definitely does fit the bill. I mean, it's a decent flavor regardless. But it depends on how you look at it. If you're going for a solid pancake with syrup and whipped cream, you might find a little bit of a con to it. However, if you're going just for the flavor aspect and you're going for the lighter version of it, which is what I think they were going for, because you know they were going for the fluffier, lighter pancake flavor with the sweeter syrup and the whipped cream, as far as being a lighter, softer version of it. For me, that definitely is what emulates out of this. This is a version that I could definitely vape on daily, as opposed to some other versions that I've tasted where it was really heavy on the syrup and things like that, and it just kind of just sank into you. So it wasn't something that you could vape long term before it kind of just got old really fast. So I prefer a version style like this. every vapor is different. Everybody has a different style and preference, so it's just more of a hit or miss to see which would fit your palate better. But regardless, either way, it still is a solid, well-made flavor. It's not lacking in terms of, you know, flavor or clouds or anything like that. So overall, the Cloudfire line from Hjelm Vapor is a rock solid line. But as all lines are, you know, it's going to be patterned for specific type vapors. But I definitely would check them out. Definitely hit them up on Facebook and Instagram. Regardless of anything else, Hjelm Vapor, thank you so much. It's always an honor and a privilege to be able to do reviews for various companies so that people can see what else is out there other than what's in their local shop. Definitely hit them up, check them out. As always, guys, I'm Token Vaping. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest. Anything that I can do to help further enhance your vaping experience, that's the main goal of why I do what I do. But definitely hit me up, let me know what I can do to help you out, and I will do everything I can to the best of my ability. But as always, no matter what, always, 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 at the end of the day, vape on, vape strong, and have a good one.